Hey guys, Tara here from Recovering Book Hoarder, and welcome back to my FlossTube channel, where I discuss all my cross-stitching, some books, life. I'm going to start with some shelf tours in this episode also. Trying to see, I feel like my screen is not quite straight. Having shaky hands does not help. That's not any better. I'm trying to line it up based off of the shelves in the background. Okay, I think that's better. Anyway, so I apologize for not taping last week. Last week was crazy, which I'll get into whenever I talk about life stuff, but some stuff came up and I was unable to, I just didn't have time to tape. So, I have to tape in the morning because of my mouth thing that I have going on. It just gets more and more out of control as the day goes on. So I have to tape in the morning, and so if I miss my window, then I can't tape. So this is going to be 2 weeks worth of roundup. I stitched 8,863 stitches over the last 2 weeks. I actually didn't touch as much as I normally do, and that's because I really got into some of my stitching, including one of my new stitches. But let's start out with, I had 2 finishes this week. So my first finish was from the Just Cross Stitch spring issue, and it was the He Is Risen from Franny Ritter Designs. I did this on a piece of 18 count Fox and Rabbit Arctic Fox Ada, and I did my own conversion, and I am so happy with how it turned out. I did a modification for the French knots that are called for at the bottom because I just cannot get French knots. I don't care what I do. They just pull through. I don't know what my problem is. So, but I'm super happy with how it turned out. I only used 4 different color flosses because some of them were variegated. And so even though the original chart called for, I want to say like somewhere between 10 and 16, I was able to get the same effect with just 4 flosses. So that is finish number 1. That was also my Lent stitch, so I really wanted to get that done during the Lenten season. I started it on the first day of Lent. Then my other finish is one of the designs. It's actually, I'm pretty sure it's the only one I'm going to do, and it's why I had bought this pattern. It's Merry Menagerie 2024 from the Blue Flower. It is this design here, and I'm showing it to you because mine looks, I did a complete color conversion. So that is what it looks like. These are the other charts in there, and but I bought it because of the axolotl. So don't ask me where I came up with the colors for this. I love the colors of my axolotl. The ornament, I don't know what I was thinking. It looks like a Pokeball. I don't love my ornament, but I do love my axolotl, so it's going to be turned into an ornament for my tree. Isn't he cute, though? That axolotl is freaking adorable. I did this on a leftover piece of, I'm trying to think what it's called, glass or crystal Ada or something. It was from, it was left over from Bentley Badger, from the kit that came with it for the class for the Jingle Ball this year. So yeah, you can see, I think you can see the sparkles in there, but super cute. Oh, I should have said, so for the He Is Risen, that took an additional 1,696 stitches to finish, and for the axolotl, it took an additional 625 stitches to finish. I also used this one for categories, which I play is Whip Warriors is a closed group over on Facebook right now. We'll reopen for membership in November. They have a categories that goes every month. This month's letters are O and T. And so for season, which is the category, I did ornament because he's holding an ornament and he's going to be an ornament. And then I also use this for Laura over at Stitching by the Shore. She does a monthly game called I Spy, and I use this for the prompt, an animal that could be a pet. And I do have him as a pet. I have 3 axolotls. Okay, so those are my finishes. I had 3 new starts this week. I will show, not this, in the last 2 weeks. I'll show you them in the order I started them. So the first 2 new starts were for my New Start Sunday. The first one is Little Bo Peep Sampler, and this is from, what was this by? This is a really old chart. Little by Little Design Co. And it looks like this. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's literally a picture that's on the front there, like from a camera with film. So, this is the start. I am doing this on a piece of 32 count Icelandic blue linen, 32 counts. And it was like a scrap piece I had bought from Cross My Heart LNS in Ohio. And I had actually gotten this chart also from there, and it was a free chart with their like free patterns that the people donate to give away. So I'm doing this as charted. Not a huge start on this. 333 stitches. That's because of a issue we had, and I had to work on cleaning my bedroom instead on Sunday. So got the tree started. So much less of a start than I usually like to do, but it's still, I mean, it's more than 200 stitches, so that's good. That was start number 1. And then my second start, this is part of the reason I didn't touch as much. I really got into this one. So this was for New Start Sunday, this past Sunday, and it is from this book, and it's actually that one right on the front there. This is from Tiny Modernist, and I'll show you. This is how it looks inside the book. I am doing my own conversion, which I'm loving. I am doing this on a piece of 18 count Witch's Brew from XJU Designs. And I got 2,886 stitches done on this one. Now, I'll tell you, I used this for several challenges. So I did, for categories, under the category of plant, I used Tulip. Under human, I used Townhouse. For designer, Tiny Modernist. And then for color, Obsidian. And then for Laura's I Spy, one of the prompts was remind you of spring. And this is definitely a very spring-like design. And I am absolutely loving the colors that I chose. So I'll show you the other ways you could do this too. But this is what I have done so far. Look how bright and beautiful those are. Oh my gosh, I love them. This has been so much fun to work on. I absolutely adore it. Now, the great thing about this design is you really could break this up. So if you wanted to just do that top part, that's the title of the book. Let me go to the actual page in here. Okay, if you wanted to just do the top, this could be its own little motif. You could also just do the bottom. I'm doing the whole thing because I personally love those leathers. I think they're gorgeous. But you really could just like pick and choose and make this a smaller design if you didn't love everything in it. I personally love everything in it, and I'm so happy I have this book now. Look at how good that is. Yes. So I really got like completely wrapped up in this one this week. I worked on it for several days in a row, and just could not be more happy with it. Okay. Then my birthday was yesterday. So for my birthday month, I did an Alice in Wonderland Sal. And I can never remember what I did. I'll have the hashtag down here for what it is. So there's still days in April. So if you would like to join me, please utilize this hashtag. It's really stitch anything from Wonderland. It does not have to be Alice. It can be anything from Wonderland. Like personally, my favorites from Wonderland are Cheshire Cat, the Mad Hatter, and the caterpillar. And this new start is the Mad Hatter from Lena Ova, which I will put up here. I am not doing this in monochrome because I don't really stitch monochrome. I started this yesterday, which was my birthday, and I'm going to continue working on this today. So far I have 421 stitches done in it. I am doing it on a piece of Mystic Fabrics Big Sky 16 count. And I really think it's gorgeous. I'm pretty sure that I got this off of a D-Stash, one of the D-Stash cross-stitch pages on Facebook, and I just absolutely love it. So I am using my Almond M&M silks that I purchased. I wanted to make sure I used them for something special. And this is what I have done so far. So, oh, I am changing this. Okay, so here's the problem. I was like, I'm not going to have a problem finding fabric to use from my stash for this. Well, it needed to be the stitch size on 14 count was 21 by 21. When I put it into the calculator, I think it was like 19 by 19. That's just stitch size. I need to add to the border for that around. The biggest, pretty much all of my fabric was 18 by 25. So it's fine one way, but not the other way. So I thoughtfully looked at the chart and I decided to take out there's a border on the, I'll show you here, the border on the outside. I took out it through the flowers, and I think that will get me down to the size that I need, hopefully. So that is the beginning. Total of 5 colors. So this is my color palette here. So pretty. And these almond M&Ms, they really are a joy to work with. So I will be continuing working on that today. Hopefully be able to make some more progress. Okay, whips. So the other rabbit hole I went down this week was with my Hobbit house. This is from Cottage Garden Samplings. This is the Fabulous House Series number 5. Oh, and I love Hobbit house. The fantasy creature I would like to be is a hobbit. I want to live in the Shire. I want to live in a hobbit house. And so I absolutely love this. I am doing this on a piece of Faded Hippie 18 count from Fox and Rabbit. I absolutely adore this fabric. And that's where I got quite a bit done. A total of 1,587 stitches. I had pulled this out for Monopoly. I play Monopoly with Jen the Caffeinated Crafter, and I needed to get 400 stitches towards Monopoly, but then I was just having a lot of fun working on it, so I kept going. Then I pulled out, I did a random spin on my wheel, and it landed on Eleanor Rigby, which is part of the Magic Mystery Tour from Blackbird Designs. This is my favorite Beatles song. So I am doing this on a piece of linen that I had gotten. I want to say it came with one of the Stitchy boxes, one of their countdown boxes, I think it came with. And that is what I have done. So I'm getting pretty close on this one too. I did 900 stitches on this. 700 was what my wheel told me to do, and then one of the prompts on Laura's I Spy game is shaped like a pretzel, and I thought that's not going to be easy to find. Well, that heart down there is shaped like a pretzel, so I used it for that one. Okay. Spun my wheel again and landed on This Kitchen is for Dancing. And this is a piece by Emma Congdon, Stitchrovia. And this was from one of the World of Cross Stitching books or magazines. And I'm doing this as a gift for my mama. And I am doing my own conversion on this one. And it is on a 16 count Haunted Ada. Total of, I don't know if I said it or not, total of 415 stitches. So that is where I'm at. Danced in my kitchen all growing up, and I saw this and I immediately thought, it has to be a gift for mama. Okay, so that is the last piece that I touched this week. New plans for this week coming up. So I spun my wheel, and for my New Start Sunday, I have 52 planned starts for this year to start every Sunday of the year. And this is, I don't know if I said it, this is number 11. And it is from the book Christmas Gnomes by Maggie Smith. This is available through Amazon. And I am doing Holly Red with Gold Trim, is what it's called. So this is the one I'll be starting on Sunday. And I am doing as charted on this scrap piece of Ada that I have. I think it's an 18 count. All right, so that is a planned new start. I think I'm gonna try and do some work on my Bella Filipina Mad Tea Party. And that's kind of all I have planned. I mean, you know, I'm gonna work on a bit more than that, but that's what I'm going into the week plan-wise with. All right, I had a giveaway. Where did it go? Let's see here. Okay, so 2 videos ago, I had a giveaway for a Zip It poll from Lady Dog Creates. This was the Nashville exclusive called Favorite Things. And so I did choose a winner for that. And the winner is Marianne Johnson, 5410. So Marianne, if you will please email your address to me at recoveringbookhoarder@outlook.com. I'll put it up here where you're supposed to email it. It's also down below in the description box. I will get this sent out to you, and congratulations. Okay, next up, let's discuss haul. So, the Just Cross Stitch summer issue came in, and I was so excited for it to come, and there's nothing in here really that is calling to me that I feel like I need to stitch. So I just don't know. The ones that I'm kind of leaning towards that I might stitch, we'll see. I kind of like this one from Christy Bernstein. This is called Honors. Proudly created by a Coast Guard captain, the design honors the red, white, and blue while celebrating the valors of those who defend the nation. And I am a very proud military supporter. So I'm thinking about doing that one. So I liked that one. And then, of course, there's the next in the Sprouting Lupine Stitch Along was released. And that is the summer section. So it looks like that. I am planning on stitching that. So those were really the 2 in here that called to me the most. I'm not saying there's not beautiful designs in here. It's just not that are calling to me to stitch. So that did arrive. I got my March Gentle Arts. I'm a member of the Gentle Arts of the Month Thread Club through Millennial Fabrics. And this month we've got Bubblegum, Blue Spruce. Well, that color shows up really well on camera there. Carrot, daisy, and avocado. So that is this month's happenings. All right, what else did I get? So I took a trip to Michael's because I want to start the Cheshire Cat that Cass got me last year for my birthday, which is from Creatively Crafting. I'll put the picture up here. This is massive. This is like 500 by 300 something. So I still had some of that gift card that my friend Jackie had given me for Michael's. I also had a return. So I thought, well, I'll go ahead and get floss while I'm up there. Thank God, I kind of got tired of picking the floss. And thank God I did, because I was like, well, I'm just going to get this amount, which I'll show you. Ended up kind of just working through the pinks in the pattern. So this, all right. So my gift card and the return cover most of it, but not all of it. I am not happy right now. So there was nothing back there saying that the price had increased on the DMC floss. I get up to the front. My Michaels sold their DMC for 66 cents a piece. It bumped up to 99 cents a skein. My flowers were gasted, let me tell you. So I believe I'm going to be boycotting Michaels because I think that's insane. I asked the lady when I was leaving, I said, geez, I said, the price really went up on floss. She said, it's not just the floss. I said, is it because of the tariffs? And she said, it's preemptively because of the tariffs. They haven't hit. They aren't feeling that they're going to do an increase now, hoping people don't notice. What? She was like, I mean, the lady who worked at Michael's was pretty much like, I don't know that we're going to survive this increase. She said everything is increasing. She said that's literally not, there was a ton of people in the store like doing stuff. I didn't realize what they were doing. They were changing the prices on everything. So just watch out for sticker shock whenever you go to Michael's, because I'm sorry, even if you have a coupon, that is not a good price for DMC. So what I did was came home and checked the 1, 2, 3 stitch, and it is still 66 cents a piece on there. So fingers crossed that doesn't change. 66 cents a piece on there. Millennial Fabrics is now also selling DMC, and if you order something, they will kit up for you. And there's, Sarah had a live last night I was on. I want to say she said it was going to be 79 cents a piece. So still significantly cheaper than Michael's. So another place to look to get your DMC from, that's still cheaper than unfortunately going to the store now. So I did put the 1, 2, 3 stitch order in, which I just did that yesterday. So I'll show you guys that, after it comes in. All right. I, found, those missing stitches. I had never heard of those missing stitches. But she came up, she had tagged me, and I was so excited she did, because let me just tell you, first of all, she's a fabric dyer. And I realized when I went on the site, I had to have heard of her before, and it just it never clicked, because one of the fabrics on there is Darling David. I'm pretty sure that's the Darling David that Laura talks about all the time on Stitching by the Shore. And so she's the dyer of that. She showed a couple new colors, and one of those new colors that she got is called Courageous Cassie, and I ended up going on to order that. I'll show it to you when it comes in. I got that. It was perfect. First of all, you know, Cassidy's my daughter. She goes by Cassie, and her favorite color is green. Courageous Cassie is a green base, and for my birthday, which I'll show you what she got me in a second. I want to finish talking about those missing stitches first. So I got that, but I love so much of what she is stitching. So she had just started not too long ago from Emblem Designs Rainbow Diagonal. This is it here. And I saw it and I was like, I feel like I need to stitch that. So got that from over on Etsy. The one that Cassidy got me for my birthday is the Antique Scottish Sampler 1826. This is from Quality Pattern, and I'm in love with this. It is pretty huge, so I had to get quite a large piece of fabric, but it's absolutely beautiful. I am going to wait, because I bought the fabric because I thought it would be perfect with it. I'm gonna have to wait and do a floss toss to figure out if I'm going to do it as charted or if I'm going to do a conversion to better match with the fabric. And then my husband got me the Haunted Mansion mandala from Atomic Tiki Pins, and I also got a piece of fabric for this from 123 Stitch. Again, it called for a bigger piece than I had in stash, so that's coming. But Haunted Mansion is, I have such a hard time picking favorite rides. That's probably my number 2 favorite ride, because number 1's the People Mover. I love the People Mover so much. I could literally stay on it all day long. But Haunted Mansion is probably my 2nd favorite ride at Disney. And so, and it's a huge favorite in my house also. And so we definitely want this to be on our wall. So my husband got me that. And then I join in on the Witchy Stitcher. I love the Witchy Stitcher. I love everything she puts out, but it's not everything. I'm not going to stitch it all. So I wait until she puts out her releases for that month and then decide whether or not I'm going to rejoin. Let me just tell you, for the Nostalgic Tarot this time, my 2 favorite creatures, 2 of my absolute favorite creatures were on the cards. So the Emperor was released, and that is a sloth, and I love sloths. And then the Moon, which is an orca. I'm so happy about these. So I did rejoin Patreon so that I could get those 2 cards. So I'm not doing the entire thing. I have gotten a good amount of the cards, but I'm not going to stitch them just to say I've stitched them. I need them to speak to me. These 2 speak to me. So very excited about those. Okay, so that is the end of the Stitchy haul. I have some book haul. These were gifts that I got from the birthday book exchange that I'm in. So I'll just go through these kind of quickly. I got The Great Goddesses, Life Lessons from Myths and Monsters by Nikita Gill. This is a book of poetry. I adore Nikita Gill's poetry. I am trying to collect all of hers. A Market of Dreams and Destiny by Trip Gailey. And this is like a night market, I believe. I don't know if it's a night market, but it's a magical market. And I like magical markets. So that's this one. Fang Fiction from Kate Stamen, London. She wrote One to Watch, which I absolutely adored. But I was unaware of this book. I thought, I wonder if she has anything else out yet, because I really, really loved that book. And that was her debut. So I did find this one. And so received that one. Grady Hendrix, which is an auto buy for me. He lives back here. Grady and Riley Sager, which is the next one I'm going to show you after this. Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. I adore Grady Hendrix's writing. It's like comedy horror. It's just so good. And then Riley Sager's latest, which was Middle of the Night. I have read this one already, but I didn't own it yet. So I needed this one for my collection. And then the last one is also a finish for me this week. So I actually, I'm having a hard time reading books, actually finishing books this year. Well, Alice Feeney is another auto buy for me, and she had a new one. And so I was also gifted this, Beautiful Ugly. And she's so twisty. I can never guess where she is going with her books, which is what I love about a thriller. So this one, if I saw somebody sum it up as dark, twisty, and completely immersive, and that is 100% what it is. It takes place on, it's kind of like a closed door in the sense that it's a closed island. There's only 25 people that live on this island. And an author who's having a hard time goes out to the island to hopefully get his writing bug back. And there's a lot that goes on. And it's very twisty. It's very dark. I gave it 5 stars. I love Alice Feeney. She really can do no wrong as far as I'm concerned. And then I also read, which I don't own this one, I listened to this. I read Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister. I think this is the 3rd one I've read from her. This was 4-star. And to sum it up in one sentence, I would say, husband takes 3 random people hostage out of nowhere. And of course, nothing is as it seems. So I would recommend that one too. That, like I said, I think I said 4 stars. Very good. So yay, I've read 2 more books. So I think that puts me at 5 books. It's either 4 or 5 books for the year, which is very, very low and unheard of for me. But it is what it is. It's not that I'm not trying to read. I am, but just I've DNF'd an awful lot so far this year. Okay, so that was my book finishes. Next up, let's do, I told you guys last time that I'm going to start a new segment, which is going to be a shelf spotlight. So you guys can, because a lot of the questions that I get asked or comments are made are about the shelves behind me, and you guys don't even see like half of them. So each week I am going to I'm going to put a picture here of what the shelf actually looks like from my point of view in my chair. And then we will go through what's on the shelf. I'll kind of explain a little bit what's on there, talk about the books that are on there. We're starting with the small shelf. So started with the one that you can't see. This is the top left-hand shelf. So first up, what you can see is this is a picture. Of course, when I took it down, I ripped it. Okay, mind you, it has been up there for, I want to say my niece colored this for me when she was like 4 or 5, and she's 7 now, and I ripped it. So I'm gonna have to put some tape on it. But so this is up there. She did this, and then she also did the this is a sticker with the diamond dots, and so she also did that. And then love Ava. So this hangs up there, lives on that shelf. Then I have hanging is one of my grandfather's, his dog tags. He passed away let me think, at the end of last year, end of 2024. So these are his dog tags from when he was in the Navy, and then this was the key to his Foot Locker, so that lives up there. I collect Pez dispensers. So the first Pez dispenser is Grumpy Bear, and he is one of, I identify with him greatly. I love him. And then the other one that lives up, oh, there's actually Pez in here. Okay. The other one that lives up there is Sophia. And this was actually a gift for Cassidy. Now, I'll tell you, a lot of stuff ends up on my shelves. Like, it just ends up there. Like, Cassidy will randomly put stuff on my shelves. My niece randomly puts stuff on my shelves. So this is something that showed up. This was a gift I had gotten for Cassidy for Christmas a couple years ago, and it now lives on my shelves up there. All right, then on that shelf lives 2 of my favorite authors. So the first one is Jamie McGuire, and she does new adult. She did have like a dystopian one out, but the ones that I like to read of hers are her new adult romance. And the one that I fell in love with was Beautiful Disaster. And this is actually a signed copy somewhere. My husband got this for me for Christmas the one year. It's a signed copy. Unfortunately, when he wrapped it, don't ask me why he did this. But I mean, it is what it is. He put tape on the book whenever he wrapped it. He like taped the wrapping paper to the book, and so it ripped in the back. So that's unfortunate. So I have that one. I also have, this one is also a signed edition. So this is the first book. This is the second book. This one, it's the same timeline told from the two main characters. This one's told from the female perspective. This one's told from the male perspective. You have to read this one first, though, in order to really understand where this one's going. And I love these books. This is it's the Maddox Brother series. This is Travis and Abby. Then each of his brothers, well, actually first there's this one, which is then their wedding. It's a little novella. But then each of his brothers also has a book. So we've got Beautiful Oblivion, Beautiful Redemption, and Beautiful Sacrifice. So those are my Jamie McGuire Maddox Brother trilogy, or not trilogy, the Maddox Brother series books. Then the other author that lives up there that I just absolutely adore is Janet Chapman. Unfortunately, she passed away several years ago, so there are no more books. But I own all of her books that are in this. So, okay, there's like a series. It's time travel. Time travel with Scottish Highlanders. They travel forward in time. And all the same family, several series within a larger series, if that makes sense. So the first one, and the book that made me fall in love with her, is Charming the Highlander. They take place in Maine at a ski they end up opening a ski, what's that called? A ski lodge thing in Maine. So it's a family of brothers that time travel forward. And it's the McKeege family. And so this is the first one. I love it so much. Very atmospheric, very character driven. I love anything involving Scottish Highlanders. I love time travel. Typically I like it when they go backwards in time. This one, like I said, they go forwards in time, and that's okay. Still love it just as much. So the ones that are in this particular like series, that's the smaller series within the series of this, is Tempting the Highlander, Wedding the Highlander. These are not in the correct order. Wedding the Highlander, A Highland Christmas, Only with the Highlander, The Highlander Next Door, and Loving the Highlander. So that's kind of like its own, those are the first ones, its own series within a series. And then there we get into more like magical, magic with some shape shifting and things like that. They're just so fun. This, I want to say it's the Spellbound Falls series. So I think this is the first one, the Spellbound Falls. Still the same setting, same characters with some additional characters. Spellbound Falls, Call It Magic, Courting Carolina, Charmed by His Love, For the Love of Magic. Oh, this is part of the Highlander one. Highlander for the Holidays. Sorry, forgot that. And then The Heart of a Hero and From Kiss the Queen. And then there's one more. This one's really much more like shape-shifty. Still the same characters, still the same setting, but with a lot more shape-shifting. Moonlight Warrior, Dragon Warrior, and Mystical Warrior. I don't know. These don't get old. I absolutely adore them. It takes a lot now for me to keep books. I only keep them if I really truly think I'm going to reread them. I do have several authors that are authors I love to read. Janet Chapman is one of them, and it just makes me so sad that she's gone. So we're not going to have any more from her. And I have actually done rereads of these. And they hold up the second time and the third time and everything else too. So if you like a good if you like a series that follows, you like to follow characters for a while, you like the Scotland people, you like some forward time travel, snowy settings, Maine, romance, you have to check this one out. I just love it. I'm pretty sure every single one of these books I gave 5 stars. So that is the first shelf of my shelf spotlight. Okay, let's get into, we'll end with talking about some life stuff. So first of all, like I said, yesterday was my birthday. So I took the day off from work, and the first part of the day I went and I watched my 2 nieces while my mom and dad went to Good Friday service in the morning over at their church, and took the girls to the playground for a while, and then we went and got blue ices from McDonald's, and then we went to the mall and got Chick-fil-A for lunch. And I just have to tell you, listen, I eat out more than I should. My service, I would say post-COVID, service is like really crappy everywhere you go, including sit-down restaurants. I had the best service at this Chick-fil-A that's in the middle of my mall. There was 2 managers that were like walking around the food court, and they'd be like, do you need a refill? Can I take anything from you? I mean, they're not even getting tips, okay? And can I get you some extra napkins? Literally the best service I have had since pre-COVID. And it was from a fast food restaurant in the middle of the food court. It is what it is. So did that, then came home, stopped and got Starbucks for Cassidy, because I'm not into coffee very much at all right now. So my free Starbucks drink, I got that for Cassidy. So picked that up, took that home to her. My mom and I sat down, and she desperately wants me to have some new clothes, because I think I told you guys, I don't know if I told you guys or not, like this is my wardrobe, is t-shirts, mostly from Disney. This is a Grateful Dead t-shirt from American Eagle, but that's pretty much what I live in. And my mom desperately wants to see me in some non-t-shirts. So we sat down and went through, and she got me a whole bunch of new clothes, which I'm so excited about. So we sat down and did that order yesterday. And then my husband brought me home my favorite pizza ever, which is Frank's Pizza. And I love it. Hands down my favorite pizza of all time. So had that for dinner, and then spent the rest of the evening. I started my new start, and then I watched Millennial Fabrics went live last night, and so I attended their live, and that's whenever I was able to finish my axolotl during that. I had to stop working on the Mad Hatter because that's on my markup XP, so I can't have that open if I'm watching a Facebook Live at the same time. So I like having an ornament going to pull out for those times that I like absolutely want to be stitching but can't access XP. So did that, and then that was the end of my night, and it was just a wonderful, nice birthday. That's exactly the kind of birthday I like. I'm an introvert, I'm a homebody. I feel no need to like go out and do something. I'm not going to a bar. I'm not, at the very most, I'll go out to a restaurant, and I don't want it to be a bunch of people. So it was a very nice birthday. 44 now, which is just like astonishing to me. Okay, so that was yesterday. Prior to that, so what kept me from taping last week? So we had a lot of rain here, and I mean, it was like massive amounts of rain where pretty much everybody was getting flooded. Like, houses just start to leak after a while. The creeks were rising around us. There was a lot of flooding. Well, a leak started in my basement, and it started out as a drip, and then it got progressively worse, and we were attributing it to the rain. Well, the rain stopped. The leak did not stop, and it was filling up buckets. So my husband looked everywhere. He couldn't, you know, he went up into the rafters. He went into the cubby holes upstairs. Could not find where it was. It was coming from where, like, the house, when we bought our house, we live in an old house. I want to say it was probably built in like the 1800s. It, at one time, had a bathroom on the very top floor. When we moved in, that bathroom was taken out. The pipes were still there and like stuck out but capped off. Everything else was gone. So if you didn't know those were there and the hole for the toilet was there, you wouldn't have known it was a bathroom. Well, that's like the area it was coming down from. So my husband went behind our vanity in our downstairs bathroom, and there is a leak in there. So my dad, who's extremely, extremely handy and saves me so much money, came over and was able to figure out that those pipes that went upstairs were never, like, they were capped, but weren't, there was still water. And so the pipes, which were copper pipes, were so old that they got so brittle that they cracked and started to shoot out water. And so by the time it started leaking downstairs, there was some damage that had been done. So luckily, and I never even occurred to me, but my mom's like, you should call the insurance company for your home insurance, because we've never made a home insurance claim. So it never even occurs to me to do that. So we did, and the adjuster's coming in this Monday to figure it out. But that entire back of the wall, so on the one side is my bathroom, on the other side of that wall where it was the leak, the pipe did whatever, is my bedroom. And so looking, like, it was plaster wall, it's all buckled and stuff now. So I don't know how long that leak was happening, but in turn, because the adjuster's coming, like, my husband and I, we worked on cleaning our room so we can move the stuff away from that wall so that the adjuster can look at it and everything. So that took up a great amount of time last week. So that was the house leak, dealing with that. So luckily it's not leaking anymore. It's a short-term fix right now, but hopefully we'll be able to get people in here and get things fixed. The other reason I couldn't tape last week is because I had my niece. My mom wanted to take my older niece to a movie, and so she asked if I would could do something with my younger niece. So we did. So we went to Urban Air, hung out there for a little bit, then we went to the mall, and then came back to my house because she went to play upstairs for a little bit. So got to spend the day with her, but by the time I was done with her, it was like later into the evening, and so then I just couldn't tape at that point. Of course, this is the year that my driver's license expires, so I had to go and get a new driver's license picture taken. So I thought, well, I'll go up first thing in the morning, like as soon as they open, and I should be able to get in and out. Well, no, because the Real ID thing, now I got my Real ID back around like COVID time, because that's when the first thing was, like, the first deadline was going into place before they had extended it. So I had gotten my Real ID then, thank God. So I get there, and literally the line for the DMV is out the door. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm going to be here forever. On top of that, I also had my husband got pulled over because the license plate, all of the paint was off. And, you know, there's programs now where you can get that replaced for free. He works at a car dealership. So he tried to get somebody to, like, hey, can you fill out the paperwork so I can get it? They're like, no, it's still fine. Well, he eventually got pulled over. So they did not give him a ticket, but they gave him the paperwork that he needed for us to be able to get the replacement license plate. So I also had that. While I'm standing in this line, I realized that my husband did not sign the section he needed to on there. So I had to leave. And I thought to myself, I am not coming back up here again. I'm going to come up like in the middle of the day. Hopefully that will be better. So went up on Thursday. No, I think Wednesday I went back and I got my new picture taken. It's horrible. If I line up my pictures starting from when I was in college to now, every year it gets more and more horrible. And I'm telling you, like, I'm sitting back this far. This is how far away I should be from the camera. But when you see the picture, it looks like this. This is what it looks like. It looks like I'm in the camera like this. It looks horrible. So I took the first picture. I'm like, can we try that again? Did it again, looked exactly the same. I said to the lady, I said, it's not getting any better. Let's just go with that one. So I have a horrible picture for the next 4 years. So did that. Cassidy's Sweet 16 dress came in, and it is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It looks like Isabella, her dress from Encanto. It's amazing. We're exact opposites. It has like a huge bow in the back. Petticoats, very poofy. I'm not like that. I can't show a picture yet because she wants it to be a surprise for her party. But after the party, I will show you guys a picture. It's gorgeous. And you'll be shocked at the price tag whenever I tell you. My mom's bugging me about getting a haircut. I get my hair cut generally once a year, and I do have some pretty dead ends right now. I don't care about my hair other than the fact that I don't want to do anything with it, and I need it to be able to go back in a ponytail. So I finally told my mom, I said, listen, since I don't care, the only thing I care about is that I can pull it back. You can pick out whatever kind of haircut you want for me. So that will be happening sooner rather, I don't know when. At some point, I'll be getting my yearly haircut. Things I'm watching. So I had been watching the Monica Sementelli case, and verdict came back. She is guilty, and she will be spending the rest of her life in prison. So that was exciting. I am now watching the Lori Daybell trial, and I think sounds like that one's the state rested. She's supposed to rest on Monday, so we'll see. And then I've also started watching the bathtub trial, and that one's very interesting. So that one's ongoing right now. I believe I'm on day 2 or 3 of that one. So that's mainly what I've been watching for entertainment. All right, that is all. That's 2 weeks of my life. All right, guys. I hope that you have wonderful stitchy time this week. Anywhere that you can find me online is down below in the description box. If you feel so inclined, please subscribe to the channel. And if you want to, you can give me a thumbs up for a like. All right, guys, I will catch up with you hopefully next week. Bye.